And now, making their way into the arena, hailing from the great pro wrestling state of Massachusetts, they are the hosts of the Top of the Cage podcast. Here are Bill and Juice.
Thank you again, Rich Palladino, for introducing us on yet another YouTube video. And Juice, I really am excited for this format. But before I get into any more talk about that, ladies and gentlemen, I am the super producer. I am Bill, and I am joined, as always, by my tag team partner, my wrestling confidant. He is the future booking genius and the prince of pro wrestling podcasts. He is Justin Juice Cannon.
Boom.
Boom, baby.
You know, every time I do that, I think like, I don't know why it comes to my head, but I forget what show it's from. I think Rugrats. They say like, oh, I took a boom boom. Just, I don't know.
Doesn't that mean like poop in your pants?
Yeah. And every time Adam Cole does it, that's what comes to my head. I just think of like Tommy Pickle being like, take a boom boom. I don't know. I'm 7. I'm 7 in a 27-year-old body. That sounds gross too. I'm just gonna shut up. I get myself in trouble.
We don't need any controversies on this podcast or on this channel. But yes, speaking of podcasts, we are doing a special edition of our TOTC reacts to a full match of our next podcast guest. So for those of you who are going to be listening to this, you are getting a spoiler for Monday. And that is going to be Aaron Rourke, the Dimepiece himself, joins us on the podcast. And we did talk some upcoming matches that are going to be coming up this weekend for Aaron. And although the podcast is going to be airing after the matches itself, we wanted to showcase one of his great matches for Creative Pro Wrestling against quite the character, quite the wrestler, I don't know what else to describe him as besides just sadistic badass, and that is SLADE.
I'm excited to watch this one. I don't think I've ever watched it before. And Aaron Rourke, I've become a fan, and SLADE, I'm a massive fan. I don't know what it is with bald wrestlers that are like badass brawlers with goatees, but if that is your aesthetic, then I'm probably a huge, massive fan of yours. I don't know why I have to say huge and massive. I just really want to emphasize I'm a fan.
Emphasize the phonics of it all. Yes, but this match is for the Creative Pro TV Championship. And for those of you who follow it, you might know what happens. But if you don't, well, let's just say there might be a pleasant surprise at the end of it for you. So, Juice, without further ado, I think let's get into the match. Oh, wow. We are just getting started right off the bat.
That's the SLADE style, man. He comes out of the gate. Sometimes he doesn't even wait for the bell. He just attacks. Which, I mean, my sound's off, so that might be the case.
Yeah, I can tell you that the announcers are just screaming about SLADE jumping Aaron Rourke.
He's just such a scary looking man.
Like, he is terrifying. As somebody that has seen him up close and personal in person, he is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, like I don't think I'd be. I think if I got a mean green, I'd just hesitate to talk at first. Like if I go take a picture, then he'd just glare at me and be like, "Oh yeah, sure."
Oh, slammed him on the outside too. He just muscled him up too. There was no form to that slam. He just picked him up and put him down.
SLADE's not about the flash. He's just about beating the shit out of you.
Oh, and look at the shape of the ring post too. The square, right in the shoulder.
Oh, you can see the veins popping in SLADE's head. Oh, this is so intimidating. He's the most scary. He's just one of the scariest looking dudes.
He's one of the scariest dudes in the indies right now. I'll say that.
Facts.
Oh, Like I've seen Slade go through chair stacks, tables, doors. Like I've seen him get hit with it all, and he just comes back in the next match I see him in and just kicks ass. Oh,
Ooh.
he looked like he caught that flush. Oh, see, that's the offense Aaron's going to need to beat Slade. If the way to beat Slade, it seems like, is to play his game, is to get sadistic. And I think the Dimepiece can get sadistic. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, I mean, he's a sadist too, man, in a different way. Look at him, he's laughing. He's not scared of Slade.
I love the blood red, though. I love the face paint. I love the gear. That looks awesome.
It does look good. He always comes out styling, man. We'll talk about if you listen to the podcast, you'll learn more about that on Monday.
Oh.
Oof.
Oh, he has the
Ooh.
eye. I don't right
Double eye rig.
Oh, the precarious position. You know as well as I do, Juice. Nothing good happens from the top rope.
No, that is a fact.
That is not
Wow,
good.
yep.
Slade looks so pumped to hit that too.
I love it. They're great wrestlers, great characters.
Oh my god.
Oof. He just makes everything look so violent, like more violent than anyone else could make it look. There's some violent wrestlers out there. Moxley, Biff, Slade's sometimes make them look like wimps.
Oh.
Maybe not Biff.
Oh, it gets right up. Oh, he's the big kick, but he's still on his feet. Oh.
I don't think I've seen people no sell us like that.
What do you think it's like to ref a Slade match? Like, you got to be scared a little bit of them, right? Like, I feel like of both of them, actually, you got to be scared.
Yeah. Especially Slade, though.
Like, Slade will just physically intimidate you. Oh, like, he'll do that to you. But then Aaron Rourke will just call you mean names and just belittle you.
Yeah, the Slade's known for getting in refs' faces, too. Like, remember at Bloodsport, he was pretty pissed that the ref ended it. He was like, "Oh, I didn't tap. I didn't get knocked out." And he's in the ref's face. I would have peed.
We get a little replay of this choke slam on the apron. You know, Juice, that's the hardest part of the ring. In case you didn't know.
Yeah, I get reminded WWE constantly.
We got to ask one of our guests one time if that truly is the hardest part of the ring.
Definitely, that's definitely a future next question we can ask next time. Whoever our next guest is, 'cause I'm sure it's happened to like almost everybody at least once, right?
See, I feel like that's smart. Take Slade out from the bottom. Like playing football, Juice, they always told you can move any guy if you control his legs, and clearly Aaron Rourke's putting that on display.
Maybe I think going for a submission.
He's biting him back.
Oh my gosh! And he always has to open up. He always has to bleed.
Yeah, it's not a Slade match. He doesn't bleed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Again, going for submissions against Slade. That guy's not going to tap out. Maybe you can knock him out.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
Oh, one, two. Oh. Oh, that's it. It's over, Juice. It's over. Oh.
Not yet.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'd be scared of Aaron Rourke. I don't want him yelling at me. He's perfect. I'm not. He'll find my flaws and hurt me emotionally. What's he looking for, you think, Juice? Oh, the title.
I don't know. This is a normal match, right? This is a go-to Rourke move, though.
Cardigan.
Phil! You gotta love a Phil appearance.
Phil Cardigan, what are you doing? Oh, that's one way to stop Slade. Oh,
Phil went to help and he just cost him.
pile driver. That has to be a Juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A new champ.
And that makes Aaron Rourke the champ. Well, look, that was actually, for that being a 7-minute match, that was a good 7-minute match.
That was good. That's another thing I'll give both of them. Aaron Rourke works at fast pace, so he can deliver in a quick match. And Slade, a lot of his matches are pretty quick because they're so like brutal that they can't go too long. And he can always entertain and like you can give him 4 minutes and he can entertain you.
I know we were talking about this after the Aaron Rourke podcast finished up, but I think it'd be so interesting to try and get Slade on the podcast. I feel like that will literally never happen because he is just so sadistic. And I'm sure that if we asked him like a question about, you know, some of his favorite people he wrestled, he'd probably just talk about like butchering meat in his back shed or something.
Probably, or just like glare at us the whole time. You'd be like having Orange Cassidy in, but instead of just being cool and not talking, it's just him like death staring at you, making you shake.
He could probably hold the record for the shortest podcast that we've ever done. So, I mean, Slade, if you're ever trying to hold that record, you're more than welcome to come on.
Definitely. I mean, I'm a big Slade fan. I like to have him on, even if it just scares me the whole time. Intimidates me.
But I'm even bigger fan of the Dimepiece, proven why he is the champ. And yes, like I said in the beginning, there was a sweet ending to this match. And of course, it's because our most recent podcast guest, Aaron Rourke, won the Creative Pro TV Championship in that match. And I think the interview was awesome too. For those of you who haven't heard it yet, definitely stay tuned for it. We get a lot into the face paint of Aaron Rourke, the character of Aaron Rourke, and what makes him the Dimepiece, what makes him so perfect. Yeah, honestly, one of my favorite interviews we've ever done. I've also am a really big Aaron fan. I said this in the podcast as well, but he was one of those first guys at a chaotic show where I was like, I like him. He has something, and I am drawn to it.
Yeah, he's on quite the run right now too. Not just because he's champ, but the matches, even if they're not title matches, he's putting on bangers like him and Flip at Cool Fury, him and Brad recently, in Chaotic 2. Lots of Creative Pro fun matches because that's a stacked. It's Creative Pro and Wrestle Pro is stacked with talent, and wherever else he shows up, like Limitless, I love the tag team stories or the trios tag stories he got with Ava Everett, Ricky Smokes. Since they're all part of art, and that's probably my favorite faction, or just one of my favorite factions on the indies.
Yes, and everybody who makes up art are all just top tier talent, especially, you know, in this area, this whole Northeast wrestling area, and every single person involved, I think, is going to get a look at some point. I mean, Aaron himself has actually already been on AEW Dark. You can definitely find that match on YouTube if you're so inclined, and would highly recommend because he just looks so flawless in it, and you know, always has the look, the character, the charisma, which those are three of the biggest things I love about wrestlers. So I love me some Aaron Rourke.
Yeah, he's been on a couple times, and I hope he'll show up on AEW. Oh my gosh, AEW Dark a few more. He's definitely fun, or just get signed to AEW. So.
I'll put the positive vibes out there for him.
So I think that'd be fun. I feel like he'd be. I feel like the TNT Championship just really would be really fun to watch if Aaron Rourke was the guy that won it. I think he'd take it to higher places.
Way better than Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've buried Sammy Guevara, and if you are Sammy Guevara or Ty Conti stan, you can definitely hit us up on Twitter or Instagram and let us know how you feel. So, Juice, where can the people find us on social media?
Yeah, and Twitter, it's capital T, capital O, capital T, capital C, underscore, capital P, lowercase o, lowercase d. Instagram, all lowercase, T, O, T, C, underscore, P, O, D. And that is our Instagram. So follow us there for all your wrestling content, news on podcast, news in the wrestling world, and what have you.
Yes, and as we come crashing down to the mat on this video from Top of the Cage, we want to thank you so much. Make sure you guys are sharing, subscribing, commenting, whatever else you can do with the YouTube video, and make sure you're also checking us out on all major podcasting platforms under the name Top of the Cage Podcast. And again, thank you all so much for tuning into this video, and we hope to catch you next time.